First tonight, there are new policy changes in Middleton after investigation finds taxpayer money has been misused for at least a decade.
Our NBC 15 Investigates Elizabeth Wattis looked further into a viewer tip.
Elizabeth, that tip was about questionable use of city property.
Yeah, and that led me to records showing a full-blown investigation into a Middleton worker who is no longer employed with the city. Records show the person had been running his personal snowplow business out of a city-owned garage for years, going unreported until someone else in his department had had enough of the misuse of taxpayer property. The red car on the right, parked in the Middleton Operations Center, is not public property. The building is. And so is that fuel being moved from the city-owned yellow locker. This video of then Assistant Utility Manager Ryan Madigan was recorded after hours. You see Madigan go near the rear of his car and then back to the fuel locker for one more tank.
We are the stewards of the taxpayers' resources and money, and we want to make sure that everyone understands, clear expectations going forward.
Madigan's off-the-clock activities were the subject of a weeks-long internal city investigation. It was sparked by a tip and 8 separate videos in the city's investigative file, secretly recorded by a coworker. Look again here. Madigan unloading taxpayer-funded city fuel tanks out of another car that doesn't belong in the garage on a Saturday morning outside city business hours. The allegations against Madigan: theft of fuel, theft of city equipment, and operating a private for-profit business out of the city garage using city-owned equipment.
Some of the allegations we could substantiate, other ones we couldn't.
Despite the videos, Middleton City Administrator Brian Gatto says the stealing tools and fuel claims were unsubstantiated. But investigation documents show because of the videos, it is likely fuel was taken. The third claim, substantiated. There was enough proof through interviews, although not caught on camera, to prove Madigan ran his own snowplowing business out of the garage and used city equipment to do it. And this wasn't a one-time deal. City documents show that Madigan used this taxpayer-funded facility to run his own business out of for at least 10 years. 10 years, I mean, how does that happen?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I've only been in this position for a little over a year, and so there was, been some changes in our leadership and a number of our staff over the last couple of years. So I think when this kind of complaint came to our desk, it really gave us the opportunity to look into some things that had been going on and put a clear mark in the sand that practice going forward will be changed, and that sort of thing would not be tolerated any further.
With the allegation proven, Gatto looked to city policy for guidance on discipline. Turns out using taxpayer property for personal use wasn't actually against Middleton city rules.
Policies, and this is probably not unique to Middleton, might be other communities, was more focused on intellectual property, didn't have as much to say about physical structures and equipment that the city may own and operate.
Now the city is changing that rule, setting clear, legally binding expectations that city-owned equipment and facilities are just that, to try to prevent the situation from happening again. And for the questionable fuel rearrangements,
when information comes forward, there may be additional investigation going forward.
So after the investigation, Madigan's supervisor and the director of public works, Sean Stosky, wrote a letter to Madigan saying if he didn't resign, that he was going to be fired. So he did resign for running his private business there, but the city paid him $30,000 for 467 hours of work he said he did off the clock. Gatto tells me there was actually a new policy which addresses how overtime hours are approved because of that particular payout.
Elizabeth, now, was this all on Madigan, or did anyone else get in trouble?
Yeah, the investigative files I saw, Sean Stosky, who I just mentioned, he was actually put on 6 months probation for not reporting or looking into what was going on.
So what does Ryan Madigan have to say about all this?
Yeah, I want to know that too. For the past month now, I've been reaching out. I've called him 4 times, emailed him, left him a message on the phone and on Facebook. I'm still hoping to hear back.
All right, Elizabeth, thank you.
Thank
and
you.
Like we said at the top of this story, this came from a viewer tip. So if you have something you want our Investigates team to look into, we want to hear from you. Submit a tip through our free news app or on our website, NBC15.com.